What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the vlog, and today is going to be a quick video about fuel injector spacers on LS applications. So for the Drift V 2005 cts-v comes with an LS6, which when it comes to the injectors and things like that, share a lot of the dimensions and such with the LS1, so the earlier engines. With the LS2, the LS2 injectors, it's a different intake manifold style and things like that. The LS2 injectors are shorter. Now between LS2, LS3, truck, all that stuff, injectors are all different sizes, but they also flow differently as well. So what I'm going to do is be upgrading the injectors for my LS6 by using factory LS2 injectors. So the cam that I have for the Drift V and the LS6 is slightly larger than the cam, the Texas Speed Torquer V2 that I have in the street car. So the stock injectors on that thing were plenty, and what I basically did was just I bought the same injectors for the LS6. Now the only difference is the size now. So the stock LS6 injectors are taller. They use a different electrical plug. It's an EV1 style plug, and they also flow less. I think it's like 24 pounds, maybe something like that. Don't quote me on it. Now the LS2 injectors are shorter, and they have an EV6 plug on the end here, and they're just different. So they're shorter in size, they flow better. I think these are 33 pounds, so they should be good for what I'm gonna be doing with this car. And now I'm gonna show you guys what I need to do to adapt these shorter LS2 injectors into my LS6 car. So on the table here, I have a stock LS6 injector right here, and I have a stock LS2 injector right here. And when you line them up kind of like seal to seal, you can already see the height difference at the top. So what we have to do is utilize these ICT Billet injector spacers. Now these are all specific basically between what injectors you're putting in and what intake manifold and fuel rail setup you have. So these are specifically for the LS2 injector into an LS6 intake manifold configuration. So when that's all pressed together, you're gonna have a injector that is the same height here. So it also came with some hardware, which looks like spacers. So I wonder if it's actually going to be a little taller. And there's 4 bolts for the fuel rails all around the fuel rail. And I'm curious as if they're going to be spacers to like have the fuel rail just sit a little bit higher than what it should be. So I have this guy right here that's already done with the new top and bottom O-rings that come with the ICT spacers. And then I also got a box of EV1 to EV6 adapter plugs. So they can be seen right here. That way, these injectors will plug right in to the LS6 engine harness. Now you can see down here on my LS1 or my LS2, I have the exact same injectors, EV6 plug, and you know, the factory configuration, and that's how it works. But somehow with all these different intake manifold configurations and fuel rail configurations, there's just some differences across the generations. So I ordered a set of stock injector O-rings, so these guys, and they're actually identical to the ones that come with the ICT Billet ones, and they came with this little tool for installation, because initially I thought I was going to be able to reuse these stock injectors. I was wrong. And what this tool does is it slips over the top of the injector, and I spray my O-rings with a little silicone, and I basically can slide them down onto the injector instead of trying to get them to fit over this lip and whatnot. You can also see that the inlet sizes for these injectors are actually significantly different. It's actually kind of surprising to see. The bottoms look the same. They got their 4 little holes, but those inlets, that's pretty impressive. So I'm going to take a look and see also to make sure that the fuel pressure between the 2 cars has to be the same as well. So what I'm going to do is same deal, get a little silicone on this O-ring, because you want that O-ring to be lubed up enough that it's not going to tear or anything and get caught up when you're installing it. And then basically just go here and push my ICT Billet spacer. You know, it just slides right on.
All right, guys, so we have 8 completed LS2 fuel injectors with the EV1 to EV6 adapter, ICT Billet spacers, new O-rings on the top, the bottom, and inside of the spacers. So the ones on top of the spacer and the ones inside on the injector itself come with the kit. And then I used these replacement ones from Rock Auto just to get some freshies on the bottom. These guys were fine. These came off of a very low mile car. These guys were probably fine, but you know, we're here, might as well replace them. So now I'm gonna take the fuel rail. I think I just have it hand tight. So we're gonna pop the fuel rail off of the intake manifold and see if we can get these things fitted up. All right, so I have my fuel rail here with all the injectors installed. I'm gonna try again. I tried doing it with the injectors in the intake manifold first. Can confirm that is not the way to do it. So get them all just kind of lined up with the holes, and I think we'll be better off if we just press in from there. Okay, I think we're all seated now. And we're not going to need that additional spacer per se. I'm not really sure even if that is what it was intended for or if it's just a washer. So we're going to use them as washers. All right, guys, so I'm wrapping this video up. It's the next day. My phone died and I was recording on that last night. We have it all wrapped up here. We have our LS2 fuel injector. We have our EV1 to EV6 adapter. We have our ICT Billet spacer that adapts it to an LS6 intake manifold and fuel rail. And we have our stock injector clips on here. So we are all wrapped up, and this thing is basically ready to go back into the car now. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. We're just one step closer to getting the Drift V back together and getting the engine in. We just need a clutch and this whole thing will get slapped back in. Also a power steering pump. But I did get this all mocked up. I threw the old power steering pump from the Black V in here just to mock up the reservoir because I had to make a new line for right here. We got the brackets back on, all painted nice. We got the alternator back on as well, and we're looking good. Pretty hype on it. It's coming out pretty nice. I have 3 different spark plug wires here, just trying to figure out which one I'm gonna go with and what kind of clearance I have with the headers. These were the ones that came on the car. They kind of suck, but I might just use them for first start because ultimately I'm gonna be buying these Excel 9000 plug wires that I have on the Black V. The MSDs are nice, but I'm gonna get these Excel 9000s because they have a hard porcelain, I think it's like 135 degree bend here, and it provides a lot of heat resistance from headers. So on the Black V, I have these Excel 9000s with the fiberglass heat sleeves. So that's probably like the best route, and they're like 130 bucks, so it's worth it. Be going with those. So next video is going to be some clutch stuff on the black car and the whole process of getting this thing out, because I was up till 1:30 in the morning last night getting this transmission out and all taken apart to figure out where my problems were on this car. So that'll be in the next video. Thank you for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the next one. Drop a comment, drop a like,
hit the subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.